the Batman.
The
So,
big hitter.
Bum, bum, bum.
The big man. So the
what we
Batman's
all
getting
tuned in
released.
for.
Yeah, getting released on the 1st of October next year. Sancho, do you want to kick us off?
Oh yeah, man, that footage looked awesome. Like, God, Robert Pattinson as when he has like the Batman suit on. Oh, dude, incredible. Especially that one shot when I think the Skull Gang asked him like who are you, and he starts just beating the shit out of him. Doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best beatdown I've ever seen from a Batman. Like that was just like pure anger at its best. The shots were awesome. I like the one where he's grappling through. I think it looks like the Gotham PD, and like the camera is just on him, and as he's moving up. That looked awesome. The only thing I didn't like was emo Bruce Wayne. Like I was ready to just pop up my my Chemical Romance records and with him with like the makeup. It kind of reminded me of Spider-Man 3, where we had an emo Peter Parker. So I'm just hoping like his Bruce Wayne is good.
Just hope he doesn't dance down the street.
Yeah. What was you expecting before the weekend? Did you think we would get this type of trailer for the Batman?
I don't know. I trusted Matt Reeves' work. I like what he's done. I don't know. I guess I'm liking what I saw so far. So just reserving my judgment.
Yeah. Cool. BC.
Oh, Matt Reeves' panel, excellent. I love how he didn't make anything about himself. He talked about the movie. You could tell that he has a lot of passion for it. That's a big plus for me. Batman Year 2, another thing that's great. We've seen Batman too many like Year 1 movies. I think this one's different. I don't know if you guys noticed, like Sancho touched on a lot of stuff, so like I'll touch on different things. Colin Farrell, we seen him in the movie as Penguin, like with the makeup on, incredible. I saw a little owl on top of the Gotham like cops badge. You can see it on top. It's a little owl, so I don't know if the Quarter Owls is going to be connected some way to it, which that's really interesting. The Riddler, I've been salivating for like a deadly evil Riddler for the longest time, and we finally gonna get it. You know,
look at that
with the envelope being green, looks incredible. Robert Pattinson, yeah, with the whole emo thing, but you know what? Like, I think we'll grown to like it. I think, you know what I'm saying? This is the first teaser trailer. I think we just need to see more in the movie when time comes. Catwoman looks incredible. That one scene when they kind of went up on each other, like she was real agile. She was doing these like different moves. I think little details like that as Catwoman is incredible. Like that picture right there. I think it was great. So with me, it was my favorite trailer out of all the trailers on Fandom, for sure.
Cool. And what was you expecting before you saw the trailer?
I put a lot. The thing is, like, I haven't been this excited for a Batman movie since the Nolan era. Because, like, when Snyder first came out with Batman vs. Superman, that Comic-Con trailer back in 2015, I think it was, because the movie came out in 2016, I was real hesitant with it. You know what I'm saying? He was jumping into this, you know, the Dark Knight with Superman, you know, Death of Superman. It was too mashed up. We just wanted one coherent story. That's all I want. And it's like really, it's a grounded movie. The Batmobile looks grounded. I know people are not a fan of it. I know people are going to say it sucks or whatever. But to me, it's really grounded. It's not comic booky. So like we could tell what direction he's planning on going with the movie. So yeah, all around, I'm cool with it.
Wicked. Andy?
Yeah, I thought it was great. Like, I love Matt Reeves. I think what he did with the ape stuff is like incredible. And then basically for them to produce something like they've filmed like 25% of the film, and for them to produce something that seems like a kind of fully fleshed trailer for me, like, is incredible. Like it gives me the tone, and like I know a lot of people basically said, "Oh yeah, it's very Fincher-esque," and it is Fincher-esque, but at the same time, that's not a bad thing. Like if this is a Batman that is, you know, a bit more of a detective, I want that for my Batman. Also, like, to have Riddler as the main villain is, for what seems to be the main villain anyway, is a really good idea because, like, Scott Snyder basically wrote the New 52 Batman stuff, and that's like some incredible stuff in there. Like, he basically created the Court of Owls and stuff. I know Sancho's basically mentioned a bit, like, that look on Riddler. If that is even Riddler, we don't know, but it has a very kind of Court of Owls look to it. And if they're pulling stuff from Scott Snyder's run, like, there's some really, really interesting stuff there. Like, his version of the Riddler is actually interesting. Like, for somebody who, I was brought up with Jim Carrey as Riddler. Like, that's how I saw him, like this kind of like pantomime kind of garish man. And to have a Riddler that, is a bit more interesting, is a bit more of a gameplay, a bit more kind of tactile, is actually something that could be really interesting. I'm trying not to get overexcited because I'm like, oh, what if this is good? Like, what if it even lets me down? Like, I'm there, like, just kind of temper your expectations. Because I saw the trailer, I was like, yeah, it looks kind of what I want it to be. And I think, Pattinson, we've spoke about before, but, he's a good actor. And when you saw him beat down that guy, I went, okay, so he's got kind of the muscles as well. Like, and I know you mentioned your My Chemical Romance CDs. Mine have already been playing, so I'm glad I've got a Batman that finally represents me.
Cool. And what was you expecting before this Sunday?
I don't know. I was hoping we'd get something, but I knew it hadn't been kind of filming for long, so I thought we were kind of going to get like a taster. I was really concerned what we were going to get was like the logo and the bat suit, and maybe a picture of the Batmobile as some kind of like a little bit of musical score. I didn't expect the whole trailer. And I was like, I think I'm going to be disappointed at the end of this. That's all I'm going to get. But this is kind of what I was hoping we were going to get from Reeves. Like, I was hoping this is kind of the way he would take this. So I was quite impressed anyway.
Cool. Alex?
Yeah, so I think out of everything that came out of the weekend, this is the thing for me that stood out as being the one thing I was interested in. So, props to them for that. I think Pattinson's a great shout. I think, even going back to things like Cosmopolis in 2013, like, he's always been very good. And, it's one of these things where he's done a lot of stuff recently where it's taken him maybe away from the public spotlight of, Twilight. And it's maybe time to sort of boost that star meter again and really put himself into the movie-going consciousness. But I'm really excited to see that. I think Matt Reeves is an interesting choice as a director. I think, pretty dependable stuff from a very small sample size. But it's the same sort of sample size that we had from Christopher Nolan when he got Batman Begins. So I'm tempted to say, it's a good choice. And from what we've seen tonally, it feels like it's at least an interesting take on it that isn't just going to feel like, it's not going to feel like the Snyder version, which is a good thing for me. Try and take it away from that. Try and make it, Walter Hamada said during this thing, this can exist in the same multiverse as the Snyder version, and Joker exists in the same multiverse, but they're all separate. Well, the way to do that is, and I've been saying this for years now, get filmmakers who have, unique ideas for their stories and let them tell them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you don't try and have a 5-film arc of this is what's going to happen. Make one good movie and then I'll trust you. But they haven't done that yet for me. And, one great movie hasn't come out of this yet. So I think if there is one, this is it for me. But, I think the supporting characters, they've got really good people. Paul Dano, I think, is a fantastic choice for Riddler. And I'm really excited to see what they do with that character, particularly if they make him a bit more menacing. And I think the one thing it may just fall into is if it feels Fincher-esque at the moment, if it then comes out and feels like it's a mixture of Fincher and Nolan, will you be able to distance yourself away from that and make it sort of your own? That's my only... It's not necessarily a concern. It's just kind of hypothetical. What if this happens? But, it could well be that it comes out, it makes its own stamp on it. And, you know, they run away for the next, what, three films with this, isn't it? I think they're supposed to be doing. And then, you know, at the end of that, call it quits. Don't carry it on for the sake of carrying it on. You recast your Batman, do a different thing, get a new filmmaker in who's got another unique idea for the thing. Don't force creativity from it.
Cool. Cheers for that, mate. Aaron.
Yeah, Alex, unless it makes a lot of money, right? Or too much money.
Well, that's always
usually the driving force.
I know that's what ruins everything, right? Kind of. So I'm so impressed with this teaser, trailer, whatever it was. I mean, it was a very meaty teaser, and it was just so rich with tone and the scope of what we're going to be going into, the world of it. First thing that came to my mind was Seven, you know, and Fincher. Actually, I lie. The first thing that came to my mind was Ben Affleck, who, and then it was the tone, and then you know, because you know, I think Robert Pattinson, after seeing Good Time, and seeing a couple of his other stuff, I think he does have the acting chops for this. So I'm not at all concerned about him playing Batman or Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne, I'll talk about in a little bit. But Catwoman looks great. Penguin looks amazing. I couldn't believe that was Colin Farrell. The Riddler looks great. Sounds great. Yeah. So the tone of the movie, the Fincher, and so glad that they're going to go towards the very serious tone. You know, like I really love the way they did Joker. Of course, I'm a big fan of the Nolan films, the Joker film, and now this film. I just love that tone, and so I'm so happy about that. Now it is year 2, so it's hard to compare year 2 Batman to anything that we've seen so far. You know, the Batman, the Bruce Wayne image, the Batman suit, the Batmobile, and everything we've seen so far, because the Batmobile is probably in the primitive stage compared to the Tumbler that we saw in Batman Begins, or even Keaton's Batman. This is Batman 2, Batman year 2. He's going to be reckless. He's going to be careless sometimes. So I see the emo Batman as being just a notch of his arc. By the end of it, he'll turn into Bruce Wayne, and that will be the true mask. True mask has always been Bruce Wayne. So I just feel like by the end of the movie, you'll see him turn into this reckless, careless person. That's like, oh man, my personal identity, my private identity. And then he'll learn how to be Bruce Wayne that he's supposed to be. And I think that's going to be the thing that's going to be the thing that's going to resonate with me, because I've always been a really advocate for who is like Bruce Wayne character. Is this character going to be a good Bruce Wayne, and second to Batman? So that's my take on it.
Cool. And just before the trailer came out, what was your expectation of it beforehand?
I was excited about it. I was excited about it, but I didn't since I didn't know too much. I went in pretty clean. I didn't get any kind of rumors or anything like that. The only rumor that I saw was that this guy's not working out anymore, and everybody's like going crazy about it. And it's like, hey, you're Batman, you got to be working out. But other than that, I didn't hear any kind of expectations of what was going to be in and out. Just the characters that the actors that were going to play these characters. But that's it. But everything has been above my expectations on what I saw. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that they only shot 33% of it, or 25% of the film. So I'm just like, okay, well, it's just that shooting 75% of the movie left, that gives a risk of it messing up somehow. I don't know why, but hopefully it's not.
I think the October release date might be a bit ambitious. I think that might be a bit premature.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. But if they push it back to December, you know, in the run up to Christmas, release this movie.
Yeah.
You'll make bank.
Definitely. Cheers, mate. And
this was the thing that I was most excited for. So I watched fandom, like nearly the entirety of it, like all of it. And of course, like the majority of people that were watching it, I would imagine, are going to be tuning in just to see Batman. And I think that I think BC touched on it. The entire panel throughout all of this, not just the footage that we got, but the entire panel of Reeves going through was the best out of it all. You can tell Reeves is really, really invested in this, and what we got from the trailer just shows that how invested and how well versed he is into what we would expect to see from a year 2 Batman. I think what we saw was unbelievable. I absolutely loved it. Like, I was there. I think the thing that I think shocked most people straight away was the beatdown scene, obviously, with the aggression, the sheer just brutality of it. It either pushed people back so far with their jaws open, or it made people grin from ear to ear, because it's exactly what you want from a year 2 Batman, and it's exactly what we got. And I'm just hoping that that's what we get for the rest of it. I loved pretty much everything about this trailer and everything that we're getting from it. I love the aesthetic of the suit. I initially thought that we would only get one glimpse of the suit. I thought that the final shot of this trailer was going to be kind of like a panning shot of the suit. It would zoom out and he would be there, and that's all we would get. But we got that suit early on in that trailer, and we got it a lot. So we know what this Batman looks like head to toe. We know what he looks like straight away. And I was really pleasantly surprised with it, because obviously with the initial kind of like test footage first trailer, if you want to call it, that we got with the red tone, and it was very hard to see, and the pictures have been kind of like edited to see what the cowl looks like and stuff like that. I was a little bit apprehensive because I wasn't too sure what it kind of looked like, but after seeing him, I'm like, I don't care. That looks incredible. That looks great. And considering, I suppose that every time that I look at something, or every time I take something into consideration, you have to think about where we are in the story of Batman. We are very, very early in the stage of Batman. Everything looks a little bit rugged. Everything looks a little bit haphazard, because he is, like, Batman came into Batman when he's like, what, 21, 22? So he's a relatively young guy here. Like, he's a young guy. So he is going to be, like you said, it's going to be reckless. Everything's going to look a little bit handmade. And the way that everything looks, like, even just the shot of his boot, it didn't look like a specialized boot. It just looks like a black boot that you could pick up somewhere, because, it's just an armored boot. And it's just little things like that which show you that the kind of journey that he is currently on at the minute, and where he is aesthetically, where he is mentally. I think from the aggression, you can see where he is mentally. But there's also a shot of him, and it's only a small shot in the trailer, of him fighting a load of prison guards within a prison cell, and it looks like him and Gordon are having a bit of a matchup as well. That alone tells you where this Batman is, because we have never seen that. We have never seen a Batman fly off the handle like that in front of everyone. In Gordon alone, start jostling with Gordon, so exactly what you're kind of going to get from this, and I can't wait. I think the cast that we have been subject to, I think there are going to be more people introduced in this. I don't think that the Penguin and the Riddler are going to be the only kind of villains that we get out of this. I think that we're going to get an ensemble cast out of this. I wouldn't be surprised if a Joker turns up, although I'm kind of hoping it doesn't. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did show up. But the cast that we've got at the minute, Jeffrey Wright as Gordon is perfect. I mean, I think he'd play a great Lucius Fox as well, but he is perfect as Jim Gordon. And I think that the who we've got so far is great. Pattinson, I hadn't seen it, but I recently watched Good Time last week. And what a movie that is. And that just goes to show you the type of acting ability that Pattinson has. He could take his hand to anything. And I just think that if the rest of what we get is like what we've currently got, this has the potential to be the best Batman yet. And that is a bit, I mean, everyone's got their own personal favorite Batman for many reasons, whether or not it's just your first Batman, whether or not, you've had your mind changed, or, whatever, everyone's got their own reasons why they love their own Batman. But I think this could be a reason to make that decision change, because this looks incredible. It looks like it could be a game changer, and I am super, super excited for it. And I really hope that line of "I am vengeance" isn't the only line of that. I hope it's the full version of it. But we'll see. But that beatdown was just, I was there just like, oh my God, Jesus. It's just so good. But,
and how many times did you watch the trailer?
I've watched it probably about 5 or 6 times by now. I probably could have watched it more. I don't want to. I get so excited about it because I love Batman. I don't know if you can tell, but I absolutely love Batman, and I can get into I can get too eager on it and watch it over and over and over and over again. And then by that point where it comes out or something new comes up, I'll get a little bit bored of it. So I want to kind of rein myself in as much as I can. But man, I'm excited for this. I'm so excited for this. And I think, I mean, I'll stop now, Nick. You can crack on. But yeah, I loved it. I loved everything about it. Literally from the moment Matt Reeves started talking to the end of it. I thought it was the best part of fandom. Easy.
Echoing majority of what you've all said, this was easily my favorite trailer by far, and it had the vibe that what you said, Aaron, that the Seven vibe, which I wanted, and you've got that sort of Commissioner Gordon's the sort of Morgan Freeman, Batman's the Brad Pitt, the reckless sort of guy who's doing all the investigation type of thing. But there was a few things in there which I really liked, is just Batman walking in a room with police officers, which you don't normally see in the other films. And I think, yeah, he is the sort of year 2 Batman. Like Aaron says, he's reckless, he's got rage. And I think if it is going to be a trilogy, you're going to see him transition into that sort of playboy Bruce Wayne that we want to see. And I think everyone's hooked up with the way that he looks, and he's got this emo look. And I think that's just the start of it. We're going to see a build up to him becoming what we all know from the previous characters in terms of a playboy. There was just little things in the trailer that I loved. The very end where he rises up in front of the gang, and then it just hits the title. Absolutely loved that. And the music, one bit that you said, Sancho, where he's flying up the middle, it just all looked fantastic. And again, for it only being 20% of the film that's been filmed, I'm really looking forward to what they deliver. And I'm interested in terms of what they do with the chemistry between Batman and Catwoman, and how that's going to work and how they're going to play it out. Because I keep reading they're going to go off a few different storylines, like the Long Halloween, and a few other ones. So I'm really intrigued. But Pattinson, I said before this, I always knew that he was a solid actor, and people complaining about whether he was putting muscle on or not. You just got to look at Michael Keaton. He wasn't a beefcake, and he absolutely smashed it as Batman. And I think just the end of this trailer should have shut up a lot of haters in terms of him playing Batman, for me anyway.